Hiya and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be getting the Ivory Cloud Serpent. To get this cool looking mount you will need to lasso the Ivory Cloud Serpent in Pandaria in Vale of the Eternal Blossom. The Ivory Cloud Serpent is a friendly rare NPC that flies around Vale of Eternal Blossoms during the Empire assault on the Vale. And you will get the Xantian lasso from the Mogo enemies. I will show you their locations later on in the video. And the lasso is a rare drop, but this is another mount from Pandaria and another cool looking cloud serpent to add to your collection. Location of the farm and where the Ivory Cloud Serpent will spawn in Pandaria in Vale of the Eternal Blossoms. If you are in Orgrimmar, just head to the portal room. It's the room that's on top, and you will take the portal to the Jade Forest. I will post the spawn location later on in the video and where I thought the best place to be in order to lasso the serpent. Once you've portaled in, just get on your mount or take the Flight Master all the way to Vale of the Eternal Blossoms. As you can see, my map looks a bit different. That's because you will need to unlock the visions in order to do this. If you have not completed the quest line to unlock the visions, you will need to do that prior to getting these or even trying to farm for this mount. You can farm for the lasso during any of the visions, but the Ivory Cloud Serpent only spawns during the Mogo invasion. These are the enemies that will drop the lasso, so just come to this area or any of the areas that these guys are at and just murk them. Eventually someone will drop. If you have the add-ons that I do, it will tell you that it's a 1 out of 100 chance of a drop or attempt, but for me it was much more than that. Some people can get it within 20 minutes or less, others can go up to hours like it did with me. So just keep farming, you will eventually get it, and then you'll get the cool looking mount. These NPCs do spawn pretty quickly, so once you're done with a batch, I suggest you go to the next batch of guys in this area, murk them, and do what you gotta do, and if you still haven't received your lasso, just come back and do it all over again. As you can see with my add-on, I've killed more than 400, had more than 400 attempts, and eventually at 411 or after 411 kills, I eventually got the lasso that I needed. Now please don't let this disencourage you, because I know for a fact that others do get it in a much shorter or less attempt times, as my husband got it within maybe 10 minutes. If you're doing this during the Mogo assault, just head to the waypoint that I have on the screen. If you have a TomTom, go ahead and put it right in. This is the spawn area of the Ivory Cloud Serpent. You'll want to be above the serpents that are flying below you, and just below the great worms, these cute little worms that fly on top and that zap you. It's okay if they do zap you, they'll just give you a debuff that will slow you down, but the serpent is so fast anyway that you won't catch up with it. And unfortunately, I was not aware that once you do lasso the cloud serpent, it will not stop moving, it will continue flying. And if you do get out of range, or if it flies far enough, you will get out of range and you will not capture it. You can macro your lasso to capture it, however I do not recommend spamming it as it can interrupt the lasso or your capturing, and that's what happened to me. So my tip is to hit it once with the lasso and look at the bar. If it did start to capture it, please do not hit it again, as it could interrupt and you could lose your mount. The serpent will stop and hover for a few seconds here and there, like he's about to do right now, as you can see, and I think that's the best time to actually capture it. Now head to this gate. Personally, I think this is one of the better spots to idle in and capture him, as he does fly around it for a bit, and you can get within range to actually capture him. Now, the first time I saw him, which is a clip you're seeing right now, I completely freaked out because I couldn't catch him. And from all the stuff that I've looked up and read, it says it does a whole loop around, and then once it comes back, it will like disappear. And I've already been camping for almost 2 hours. I know it doesn't sound like much, but trust me, when you've been trying to catch this mount for a while and doing all the farming, 2 hours is a bit much when you finally get the lasso. So anyways, so then I just decided to hang out here, and I couldn't see him, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to have to keep going. It was late at night. I mean, if you look at my mini map, it will say it's just almost 2 p.m. But I'm not in the same zone as the server I'm in, so the hours are a bit different. Anyways, so then I looked up at the map, and I decided I will meet this mount halfway. So I'm going to go to the other area where this mount will fly through, and I'll try to catch him. And then I freaked out again, and I was like, well, what if like it doesn't hang out for a few seconds? So then I decided to fly all the way back to the gate and just hang out there, because I see him, it did do kind of more of a loop or a round, not just once. Maybe it was just my luck, I'm not sure. But anyways, this is the clip. This is the other area that I know it goes through. As you can see, he's back here again. And I realized he's too up high, now it's down. You know, it keeps flying all around and it's too quick. And this is why I just advise to just go on that gate. It does take like a minute to fly around. He does a very big loop. But look at that gate it's heading towards, and where I'm heading towards, that's where I suggest. And yes, I was completely freaking out because I'm like, I don't want to have to do this for another few hours. I've already spent days trying to get the lasso. So I was trying to think, and I was like, you know what? It doesn't look like it disappeared yet. Now, I don't know if it's because I've already tried to lasso it. I'm not sure on that, and that's why it didn't do its loop and just disappear. But the next thing I could think of was, let me just head to the gate, because it looks like it's heading there. It looks like it's doing the same path, and it's not going to disappear. Now, if you're wondering why I was slow heading there, because the brain was freaking out. Okay, excuse the brain. It just froze, and this is where I was trying to catch him, and I finally actually got him. I did not spam at that point. That's all you have to do, you guys, and then eventually you will get your cool looking mount. This is the mount right here. It's ivory, and it has like a little tint or a shimmer of that pink, reddish, pinkish color. It looks pretty dope. I haven't seen many people with it. I'm sure there's a good amount of people that do have this mount, but like just being an Ogremar or whatever, I've seen maybe a few people mount on it. That's probably because there's a lot of cool mounts out as well, but hey, it's an easy guaranteed mount that you can get. It needs a bit of a farming, not as much as some other mounts. I will not mention names, but at least you know you will get it, and it's 100% drop. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and put a comment if you want. I'll gladly read it and reply. Alright guys, until next time, bye!